Hey guys, and welcome to Pirate Hunter Traffy. In the world of One Piece, the Revolutionary Army is one of the major groups fighting for power in the Great Age of Pirates. Their goal is to overthrow the global government. The dictatorial global nobles, Tenryu Bito, are at the center of the corruption and tyranny their rule has brought about. In order to achieve this, they are currently concentrating their efforts on freeing the most downtrodden tiny islands from government rule. Although the road to their final objective is long, it aids in their growth in numbers and strength while gradually weakening the opposition. Despite sharing the same goal with the pirates, they frequently resist them and aid the populace in ending the pirates' violent behavior. The far-left ideology of the Revolutionary Army is unmistakable. Dragon was reportedly influenced by Ernesto Che Guevara, according to Oda. They claim to impose a communist-style regime after finally defeating and toppling the existing one by rejecting the accepted political model. This is connected to the Void Century, when a better society was destroyed and lost by history so that the planet nobles could continue to rule over a failed society that only served their selfish interests and allowed disaster, oppression, and injustice to flourish in a despicable planet. After a while of trying to be more peaceful, Dragon came to the early Marxist notion that the only way to alter the world was by a violent armed revolution that utterly destroyed the prior economic structure, and gained the title the world's worst criminal. He is Luffy's father. The Revolutionary Army has become much stronger, as shown by the fact that they declared war during this year's reverie. And with that, Dragon has recruited a lot of great commanders working for him, and each of them works in a different sea in the One Piece world. There are a lot of strong people in the Revolutionary Army, but how strong are they exactly? Join us today as we explore the 4 most powerful commanders of the Revolutionary Army. Be sure to watch until the end to avoid missing a detail. 4. Morley. At number 4, we have Morley of Fur, a behemoth and a newcomer with a bounty of 293 million berries. She is the leader of the West Army in the Revolutionary Army. In the Impel Down arc, Emporio Ivankov initially made a reference to Morley as the one who had created New Kama Land. Morley is a large, very hairy giant. She sports a bushy chin-strap beard and a Fu Manchu mustache. She was a wanted pirate who was held at Impel Down more than 100 years prior to the beginning of the story. The fact that she had used her devil fruit to escape the jail was secret for a long time, allowing it to maintain its reputation as being impenetrable until Shiki's escape many years later. Morley used her devil fruit skills to excavate the tunnels that subsequently came to be known as the Level 5.5 and contained the New Kama Land. She eventually enlisted in the Revolutionary Army following this. Morley maintains a prominent position in the Revolutionary Army as an administrator, and she has complete authority over the soldiers in the West Army as its commander. Don Quixote do Flamingo even depicted her as one of the Revolutionary Army's major players. Morley is a giant, which gives her greater physical prowess and a longer lifespan than a human. She can move very vast areas of the earth with her devil fruit power because of her size. Morley moves the ground with the help of a large harpoon trident hybrid she wields and her devil fruit ability. Morley consumed the Oshi Oshi no Mi, a devil fruit similar to a paramecia that allows users to push and shape the earth as though it were formed of clay. She may easily walk underground with her ability, and she can push chunks of the ground onto foes to deal damage because the ground appears to retain its weight and hardness. 3. Lindbergh. Next up is Lindbergh, or Lind for short, is a cat mink and the Revolutionary Army's commander of the South Army with a bounty of 316 million berries. Lindbergh is a diminutive cat mink who is roughly Bello Betty's height in height. He has cream-colored fur, a pink snout, and hair that is rather dark blue cyan in color. He is dressed in light slacks, a light shirt with buttons, dark boots, and a dark coat with buttons. He also has a top hat with another pair of goggles that have orange lenses and a curved rim, goggles over his eyes with a light blue lenses, and a jetpack on his back. Lindbergh occupies an extremely important position within the Revolutionary Army as an executive, and he also commands the South Army and has command over all of its men. Lindbergh is a native warrior of the Mink tribe and has the ability to use Electro. When he views the full moon, he can also change into his Sulong form, though it is uncertain if he has any control over it. Lindbergh, a highly skilled and gifted inventor, has produced cutting-edge tools and weaponry that he employs in battle. While battling the Peachbeard pirates in the Lulusia Kingdom, Lindbergh debuted the Cool Shooter gun. The bullets fired by the Cool Shooter can quickly freeze small areas of its targets' bodies. With his Cool Shooter, Lindbergh is also a skilled marksman who can target only the Peachbeard pirates' weapons, leaving them unharmed so that the citizens of Lulusia can defeat them. 2. Karasu. In the runner-up, we have the Honorable Karasu with a bounty of 400 million berries. He is one of the Revolutionary Army's most powerful members. Karasu is in charge of the forces in the north. Like the other commanders, he has a very intimidating appearance. Karasu is a tall, strong, bald man with a loudspeaker-like plague doctor mask covering half his face. In addition to dark slacks and a belt around his neck, he is dressed in an open dark feather coat that exposes his breast, just like the Beast Pirates. He has a crow-like theme and appearance thanks to his overall clothing. In terms of personality, Honorable Karasu hates those who prey on the helpless. He also speaks very quietly and often mumbles, so he needs his loudspeaker mask to be understood by others. Veins bulged on his forehead in rage as Peachbeard pointed out that people who object to his mumbling do not seem to get along with them. He can be forgetful too, as evidenced by mumbling since he forgot to turn on his speaker. But even with that goofy side, he is by no doubt one of the strongest Revolutionary Army commanders. This is because he is an influential member of the Revolutionary Army and a senior executive. Due to that status, he has total command over every soldier in the North Army as its commander. Also, Karasu has consumed an unidentified species of devil fruit, turning his body and attire into a swarm of crows as a result. He demonstrated his ability to work across a large region when he simultaneously took all of the Peachbeard pirates' weapons in this form. The average-sized human can be carried on the back of each crow and are employed to deliver newspapers. Karasu can also speak in the voice of a crow, which is useful especially if you want to spy on the world government. In terms of haki, Karasu is capable of employing the haki for observation and armor. With these, he becomes an extremely formidable commander. But I'm excited to see the true extent of his power once Oda decides to show us more. 1. Bello Betty. In first place, we have the lovely Bello Betty. She is the chief leader of the Revolutionary Army with the biggest bounty, totaling 457 million berries. Given that persons from that sea have a lower reward average, the fact that she is in charge of the Revolutionary Army's eastern forces makes her bounty all the more impressive. Betty is a tall, slender woman with short, bobbed purple hair. She frequently wears a pair of black-framed red lens sunglasses over her pale green eyes. She typically smokes a cigarette and also has crimson lipstick on. She is decked out in a large, fluffy white plume on the rear, a pair of curled horns on the front, and a red top hat with matching red goggles. She also carries a sizable flag bearing the emblem of the Revolutionary Army. In terms of who she is, Betty is quite harsh to the people she assists, calling them names that are derogatory and humiliating them. Her goal, despite this attitude, is to persuade them to join the Revolutionary Army while empowering them to make independent decisions. She thinks that choosing to perform heroic deeds is a personal choice. She suddenly changed her usual demeanor to applaud the Lulusia Kingdom's citizens for taking up weapons and fighting. She may be harsh and disrespectful, but she does share with her fellow executives a sense of mercy and a desire to assist people who are in need. As she lovingly smiled and joyfully applauded the citizens of Lulusia Kingdom for rising up and battling the Peachbeard pirates, she also demonstrated her admiration and gratitude for individuals who take the initiative to combat their own foes and problems. And with such a personality, Betty holds a significant executive position inside the Revolutionary Army. She has command over every soldier in the East Army as its commander. Betty is a really compelling speaker. She motivates a lot of people to fight thanks to her devil fruit abilities. Betty's abilities led Morley to refer to her as the Freedom's flag bearer. Speaking of her devil fruit, Betty consumed the Kobu Kobu no Mi, a paramecia-type devil fruit that grants her the power to rouse people to battle and incite them to greater resolve and physical fortitude. She speaks words of inspiration to her targets in order to summon her strength. She was able to transform the terrified, defenseless people of the Lulusia Kingdom into a fighting army powerful enough to repel the Peachbeard pirates with only sticks, demonstrating the effectiveness of her power. In terms of hockey, Betty is capable of using observation and armament hockey, making her a truly formidable commander. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe.